Elizabeth Cady Stanton was born on November 12, 1815 in Jamestown. She initiated the first Women's Rights Convention in New York in 1848. Stanton wrote the Declaration of Sentiments as a basis for discussion at the convention. This was the first women's suffrage demand on record. Despite criticism from the popular press and certain church spokespersons, the convention and its ideas had an extensive influence. By 1860, the group's efforts had propelled 15 states to grant women property rights and other legal reforms.
Betty Friedan was born to Harry and Miriam Goldstein on February 4, 1921, and died on her birthday, February 4, 2006. She was a newspaper reporter, political activist, book writer, lecturer, consultant delegate, instructor in creative writing and women's studies, visiting professor, visiting scholar, graduated from Smith College summa cum laude with rare high honors, and went on to other schools for further studies. She worked on reforms for the social acceptance of aging, abortion laws, but mainly worked on getting equal rights for women.
We're the Randolph twins, and we just love history.
You know, I've been recently researching all about Elizabeth Cady Stanton.
No way. I've been studying about Betty Friedan.
Wow,
gnarly.
Well, apparently, Elizabeth Cady Stanton was all the rage in the 19th century.
And Betty Friedan was practically a celebrity in the 20th century. I even found a clip of her on YouTube.
Whoa,
gnarly.
Stanton was very passionate about her work. She truly believed that women should have the same rights as men. She said, "Woman alone can understand the height and the depth, the length and the breadth of her own degradation and woe. Man cannot speak for us, because he has been educated to believe that we differ from him so materially that he cannot judge of our thoughts, feelings, and opinions by his own."
Betty Friedan had said, "Men are not the enemy, but fellow victims. The real enemy is women's denigration of themselves." She wanted both men and women to fight for gender equality. She especially wanted to reinvent the workplace to be more inclusive of women who straddle the life of a career and a mom.
Hey, did you know that Elizabeth Cady Stanton wrote several articles as well as a history of women's suffrage?
And Betty Friedan wrote tons of books about what she believed in her heart. The most famous one was called The Feminine Mistake, her first book, and was about the dissatisfaction of women all around with their traditional roles of taking care of kids and not having a career.
Well, Elizabeth Cady Stanton edited the Woman's Bible. It sparked a controversial dispute and forced her to step out of her position as a leader of the National Women's League.
Now, Betty Friedan was the founding president of NOW, National Organization for Women, whose goal was to bring women more into the workplace and to achieve perfect equality with man, helped put Title VII from the Civil Rights Act of 1964 into practice, since although the bill was passed, it was not officially put into practice by all employers, legalize abortion, and make birth control available to all. Top that! Uh-oh.
You know, it's such a good thing that we're learning about these wonderful, strong women.
That's for sure. Now we know that if we want to make reform, we know what worked and what won't.
Hey, we should write a book showing how I hate the idea of homework.
That's a great idea. Let's get started. Wow, gnarly.